assault and batteries, but my trunk stay ever ready. Assault and battery, if you scared, you never ready.
All right, we're back. It's been a while since all four of us. There's supposed to be five, but there's four now. Since we all been in the same little chat. I know Justin, last time I saw him was in August. Steve was Chicago, and Miguel, I don't even remember.
Chicago.
For what?
For All In.
For All In?
Yeah, AEW wasn't even a thing last time we saw each other.
A year ago. Holy.
Looks like you got jealous. Think I'm replacing him now. Thanks, Robbie.
Ooh.
Hey, can you tone down the enthusiasm just a little bit, Justin?
Excite yourself, Justin. You know, Justin with his...
Excite yourself.
I know. Justin, the most unimpressed man in the world.
I'm impressed.
Probably
just got done watching the Rumble. That's why he's like that.
Yeah.
I don't watch WWE. I don't watch that fake stuff.
I had this crazy idea while I was driving home. I'm like, to be honest, I'm out of video ideas. Redemption Tour Part 6. So let's just do a thing where everyone likes to hear all these stories about us, where we came from, our wrestling experiences. We have about 10 years, right? 11 years of wrestling on YouTube. So we'll just talk about that because everyone seems to be, into it. So this is the first episode. We just talk about just pretty much before we start making videos, mostly about what got us into making videos, maybe who we were watching, and the nerves, I guess, at least for me, I was nervous as hell making my first video, just everything leading up to it. But hopefully this goes okay. I know, too bad Luke can't be here, but maybe next time, buddy. 27's all about you, so we'll see you in that episode. And so I guess we'll start with Miguel. I know you've been making videos longer than anyone. I know you got me started. So what's your deal? What made you start?
Probably the obvious thing that I think everybody you always says is that I didn't have anybody like in real life to talk wrestling with. So I figured why not get on this thing that apparently has a lot of fans that are as passionate, if not more, about wrestling than I am. And it started out with the belt videos. I didn't really subscribe to I don't know. I hear a lot of names of like, True Slayer or this guy that are like the OGs of talking about wrestling. I honestly didn't know who anybody was. Anybody that talks about wrestling. The first videos that I encountered on here that have to do with wrestling were belt videos. I thought I would do one of my own. I did about 6 or 7 to start off, and then from there, that's when I thought, well, I want to talk about wrestling now, because in some of these comments in my belt videos, people bring up what happened on Raw, the pay-per-view. So I figured I start, branching into that, because I knew from the get-go making belt videos could only take me so far before I hit a dead end, and I was like, well, if I talk about wrestling, then as long as stuff comes out on TV, then I have content. So I just went from there.
Who were you watching even before? Because I know with me, it was like RVD Tutor for Life and Gemini. I don't know how you popped up. It was definitely the belt video, but I was watching videos. I started making videos in 2009, but I was watching videos all the way to 2007. So I had that solid 2 years of just seeing other people. And
nobody.
You weren't watching anyone.
Honestly, nobody.
One day I'm gonna make a video about in my backyard shaving cream on a belt.
Well, because I watched the videos first for belts, and then somebody said that that's how you can make your straps flimsy, and I looked it up. Nobody had a video of that, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I could do that.
Yeah.
I don't see what's so hard about that. So then from there, when I saw people comment and just engage talking about wrestling, not the belts, but just wrestling and what's going on, that's when I decided, well, do people talk wrestling on here besides do they make videos? And I didn't look up people. That's the thing. I just started making videos on my own, and either people mention names, and that's how I found out about them, or from there, I don't know. If so-and-so left a comment, I would click on it. Does he talk about wrestling? He does? All right, subscribe.
Yeah.
And then,
at that time, they had the profiles too, right? Where you can go and comment hey, check my chance. How I advertised my videos when I first started.
With their top 10 wrestlers.
What did you show your face in the shaving cream video, or is it just you talking behind the camera?
Behind the camera, yeah.
It was, right? So what was it like when you showed your face first with the Daily Dose of Wrestling?
I don't know. It wasn't bad for me. I wasn't nervous. It was more just start talking and let it come out. Because if I try to think too hard about it, it was gonna make me nervous. I just honestly started talking and just ad-libbed it.
That's crazy. I was freaking out. I remember when I was I know I told this story a bunch of times. I was I had class that day, And I was like, oh, let me just use my little digital camera, make a video. And I remember the sweat going down my back. And as I'm talking to myself, like in my room with my it wasn't even on the tripod, it was on the shelf. And I remember I didn't know how to edit at that time too, so it was literally a one-take thing. And that was
movie maker.
Yeah, I know, that's what I mean. That was my fourth video too. My first video was a response to you. I think you showed your collection or something, and you wanted everyone else to show theirs. And I was like, all right, this is how I'm going to do it. And I don't even know how I came across your channel, to be honest. It was just like, and I remember like, hey, this is a response to freaking Yaya88. Like, what? It just like took off from there. And then, but yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised because I guess you were always like good at public speaking or something, because I was nervous as shit. Yeah.
That, you know what's funny? You made me remember something too of how I found out about people is back then when you accepted a video response, their video would be right underneath yours.
Oh, yeah.
And it had like a little thumbnail. And then I forget which video it was. It might have been the 20 wrestlers list or something, but there's a video I put up that had like 10, 12 responses, and they were all right there. So it looked like a mini playlist right underneath my video. And then that's how I would find out more people too.
I forgot about that. Yeah, everything used to be down there. And people used to make responses too, like especially in that 2007, 8, 9 era. Like that's how when you would get over by actually talking properly.
That's how beef started.
You gotta love it. I remember the Ken Jones and RVD Tito for Life. Did you guys watch that, Justin and Steve?
No, I never knew what it was.
Yeah, so I know Luke was like right in the middle of it. He was like the TMZ of that. Like he can literally recite every video from those guys. But I remember I used to talk to Doug on MSN, and I remember like it was like talking to like a superstar at that time. Right? I didn't know this guy's a famous YouTuber. And I remember I spent hours and hours talking to him on MSN. And then the day his thing got hacked, I told him like, bro, like, is everything okay? And he told me that, and he called me Ravi at that time. He's like, I don't think we're going to be able to talk anymore because like my thing got hacked and I don't know who it was. And I assured him that it wasn't me, but he didn't trust anyone at that time. And I hadn't like talked to him. And he started big leaguing me, him and Bill, whenever they see me in person. He doesn't remember me anymore.
Big league you at 32.
Yeah. 2 times. I think even in Chicago they big leagued me. I remember I was with
Oh, they did?
Yeah. And I don't even know why. I was like freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, there's Bill. There's Bill.
Ravi
all
came up to
elite
me,
Bill?
Remember RVT Tito for Life? I'm like, yeah, they're right over there.
I don't know what it is. It was like, I guess it's when like, you will grow up watching these guys.
They're
and
probably scared of you because Justin was next to them. Like, I don't want to fuck with him now.
I know. What about you, Steve? When you started?
Damn, I was trying to look this guy up. The first guy that I started to watch on YouTube was a DVD collector. A lot like Jim, but above average Muda too. But he just had a ton more stuff. He was a really nice guy. Always like sort of showed like how to find deals, how to get DVDs cheap, and how to like build your collection up. But I just don't really remember his name. And from him is how I found Gemini, and then from Gemini I found Miguel.
It wasn't WWE.
That's what I was thinking of. Was it
that
him?
dude? Yeah. Really, really nice guy. Even though that wasn't the kind of videos I started making at the time when I like met Miguel and you and stuff like that. Like I mostly just made videos about my life at the time, kind of. But like WWGD6, he like before WrestleMania 26. He just made a video where he was like showing off his WrestleMania VHSs, his DVDs, talked about like his favorite moments, and then just openly said like, if you make this like a video response, send it to me. So I made one. I was so scared. I didn't say anything in the video. I just hold them up and like show them off, like, look at my collection, and then end the video. And I don't know how I was going to impress him at the time, but that was my first video. And then when I went to WrestleMania, I made like a day in the life of like driving there, going to the show, coming back. Miguel's not in it because Miguel big leagued me, didn't answer my DMs or
Miguel big leagued me also at the beginning.
He was going to bury me in the desert.
Yeah. I mean, that everybody knows that story, but I tried to get Gemini to go with me, and now looking back, that is like the craziest story of all time. me trying to get
Creepiest
somebody
thing
who
you've
I
done.
yes. But without that, I would never have met Miguel. I never would have met Jem. I never would have met Ravi. I never would have met Justin. So I had to win that contest and try to take Jim to WrestleMania with me, or I wouldn't even be here at this time.
Did you start making videos in your garage, or did you transition there after? I don't remember. The Wrestle Center called it.
Basically, like, we got on like after WrestleMania, like Miguel and them brought me into a Skype call, like trying to like humiliate Jim. And like I was a rib on Jim more than anything else. I'm never supposed to be here. Like I was a one night ordeal. But basically, like I held my own in the call when everybody made fun of me, and it was what it was. Miguel, like they said, do you want to come back tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, I'll come back tomorrow. And then I kind of like asked Miguel, like, how do I get people to watch my videos more? And he was like, well, you just have to make them. And so like I remember after I got off the call that night, I made a video talking about DVDs, and then it just turned into, this is kind of fun. And just making a video every day in the garage just ended up being a spot to go to. And then I just started putting figures on the desk because it made it look cooler.
Yeah.
And that's basically how I got in the garage.
That's one thing you mentioned. I remember after the first video I made, it was like you were like addicted to it right away. Like it was such a good, like satisfying thing after filming it. I was like, damn, I gotta do this again. And then it started from like doing the figure video. I think I made a sunglasses video after that. And then I did some, it's still on there too, like over some random Oakleys that I bought. And then it ended up being some wrestling collection. And then I showed my face, but it was like, those 4 videos were all within like a month. And it was like, it went from 1 a week. And then it was just like, I would look forward to it, especially at that time where you're trying to build your channel. I was like, man, I would have all these ideas. I remember I had a script, what are things I would say. And at the time it was like more discussion things too, rather than just showing off your collection. And then other people too. Yeah, seriously.
He made sunglasses videos, but he makes fun of his brother for making that beats that the video.
I forgot about that.
Beats headphone cables can't get tangled up.
You're the one who mocked him more than I did.
I did, yeah.
Okay, and last, Justin. Justin was weird though. You came in like,
Yeah, he's really
popped out of nowhere.
I started making videos in 2010 because I bought a DVD from H&M, and I was like, do people make reviews on these things? And that's how I found Jem. I found Miguel through his belt videos. I found you, then I found Breach. And then I just made videos, got partnership. You knew of me. I big leagued you in a Jericho line.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about that right now.
And then one day,
the only
you
one who
noticed
has
me
big
because...
me is Steve. Everyone else is big.
So the only reason I got noticed is because all my videos were getting high amount of views, and one day you DM me saying, "Hey,
Bret Hart signing.
You're the smartest man on the YWC." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you, Ravi. I've been watching your videos for 2 years now."
That's
Wait,
the one
who
day
big leagued who?
So what happened was there was a Chris Jericho signing for his Undisputed book, right? It was Undisputed.
Yeah, it was 2011, like February, March.
Yeah, so I was with Jade, and I'm like, and we were about an hour and a half early to the thing, but there was still a bunch of people, you know, wrestling fans are, they're going to camp out there overnight.
Yeah.
And who happened to be at the front of the line? I was like, and, you know, you do the drive-by, you see if someone recognizes you, and to this day, it still works. So at that time, I'm like, I'm guaranteed someone's going to, you know, say something.
Only you in this call knows about that, because we don't get perks like that.
Well, still. And then, so I go, and I see Justin, and I'm like, I know this guy, like, I've seen him, like, I've seen his videos. So I walk by him, he looks at me, doesn't say anything. All right, maybe he didn't recognize me.
Because my introverted ass is not going to say anything. I'm going to be like, I'm not going to bother this person I ever met in my life. And
I walk by him again,
hey, come on.
Doesn't say anything. And then I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? You know, I'm in front of you, like, say something. And then after like 3 times, I'm like, forget it. I'm just going to go in the back of the line. So I go in the back of the line, and then someone maybe halfway through says something, so I go with them. And I don't know if I messaged you saying I was there, or...
No, you messaged me. So I was like, oh, wow, this guy messaged me. I was
like, hey, like, I saw you at the thing, and then it just started from there. But we didn't even talk. I think it just acknowledged, he wanted him to acknowledge that he saw me.
Yes.
And then he
Abby
just...
acknowledged me, and I was happy. And then it wasn't until a year after
How long did you have to wake up or get there to be the first in line? 'Cause I don't think I've
I
ever
was
met
in
anyone
first.
that's...
I was like top 20. Maybe I was there like 2.5 hours early.
It wasn't 20. You were in the front, bro.
No, I wasn't in front. I was like 20 deep.
20?
Wasn't that bad.
It was
Yeah.
enough. Like I was like 200 at least.
But yeah,
then,
I don't think anyone. Ravi didn't like know of me, like talk to me until the Bret Hart signing. But he only knew of me because of all those videos I used to make with my thumbnails.
That was that way. Yeah, I remember the first
The
time
full
we
depth
actually.
analysis.
But see, that's how crazy this YouTube thing is. Yes, because I've never hung out with Justin, never spoken with him, and I'm pretty sure I messaged you on what, YouTube, Facebook, whatever it was.
You missed me at Twitter. Yeah, I'm like,
Twitter.
oh, I'm going to Bret Hart. Bret Hart signing here is like, want to go together?
Yeah,
And then we
the
DM
March
each
of
other.
Dimes, yeah. So
And
then
then
we met this guy through DMs, and we just randomly. Did I pick you up, or we met up over there?
You drove to my place, and then I drove the rest of the way because I was like the halfway
You
point.
just described like a Tinder hookup right
Literally, that's what I mean. I'm like,
This is a grinder hookup without the
Yeah.
grinding.
And I remember that the first day, this guy was refreshing his analytics, like his thing, and all of I see is the number going from like $40 to $50 to $100. Yeah, bro, look at this! Look how much money I'm making. And I'm mesmerized at this point. And then he showed me the ways the higher power came through.
See.
But that's the thing.
I
was
was a fan. I was a fan of you guys. Watch your videos for 2 years, and then I become friends with you guys. Like 2-3 years later. It's so weird.
So you made clickbait videos right from the start, essentially.
I was clickbait before clickbait was even a term.
That's what I mean. And you were doing the. Remember, you were going to go to WrestleMania, and you were like, "Oh, I'd rather stay home."
28.
I was gonna go to Mania with my cousin that we watched at what was it 33 at his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
So
I didn't
you
go.
were doing streaming and you were doing clickbait before all this stuff was like a thing.
Yes.
You were like a revolutionary.
Allegedly streaming. Allegedly.
Allegedly streaming.
Yeah, I don't
Yes.
know. Well, yeah.
Dana White's coming for you.
Oh yeah, that was 11 years ago. I don't think he's coming for me.
That's crazy. And then
I show Ravi what to do, and then Ravi spreads the word to Miguel and Breach, and then I see Breach's videos have nice thumbnails and titles. I'm like, oh, I see you're showing your boys the ways now.
I had to. And the thing is, I'm pretty sure like.
I didn't get on it that quick.
No, I didn't. I think.
Oh,
I
I know Breach did because me and Ravi hung out like a month after for WrestleCon, and then Ravi's like, oh, we had a meeting at WrestleMania, and I had to teach him the ways.
Yeah. And like I know Steve ran with it. Like me, I felt bad because I know like how many years did I do? I was like 2009, 10, 11, maybe 3 years of doing proper videos, and all of a sudden you're throwing out this bullshit where. And people, you know what's funny? There's one lady who works with me, and she has her own YouTube channel as well. And word gets around that, oh, you know, this guy does YouTube also, like I used to, whatever. So she searched my name, and one of the first videos that came up was like Ronda Rousey versus someone, like full thing. It was only like a 2-3 minute video, and she was like, "Oh wow, what is this?" And she clicks it, and then it's me talking. And this video has 140,000 views, whatever it was.
Yep.
And then I quickly, I'm like, oh, let's just turn the volume down on this, like whatever, because I didn't want her to like. I'm pretty sure I just made a whole joke of the whole thing. So she's like, oh, is this like your live reaction? I'm like, yeah. I'm like watching it, and then like I react to it. So this is my reaction.
We were doing live reaction for live reactions.
Yeah, pretty much.
You didn't want her to hear your great in-depth analysis?
Hey, that's what it is. I'm like, but she's gonna think I'm like a big scumbag. Like,
I remember I used to write notes, so I at least would be able to talk about the thing because I didn't know what the hell was going on. So they said something, I wrote it down. And I would
take
just
better
have
notes
it here.
than You need to take better notes because this is what you did in one of your videos. It was I think it was a Mayweather video. He's like, boom, boom, that is what boxing's all about.
I remember Miguel was out one day and he was like, after you do your review for Ronda, can you go on my channel and do the same review? I'm like, what?
Yeah, I forgot which one it was, but yeah.
It was a crazy evolution, like considering like you started with the belt video, Justin started like how we started, and then to think, I remember Steve, we cashed in on Royal Rumble, right? That was
big
your
time.
biggest,
that was my biggest night I ever had. Yeah,
so I think, like, you started off
$1,800.
Which Rumble?
That's when Roman Reigns, I think.
The one that Rock came back. Yeah.
Oh, 15.
The one that.
Ravi's biggest was Raw 1000. I remember because we hung out in August, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad I made a video a day
Every
Oh,
day.
one
for 31 days."
Raw 1000. I made a video at the starting of August all the way to the end, and Raw 1000 was at the end of August. So
Oh.
I just went crazy.
See, now that's a redemption tour.
And we'll
That's a
talk
real
about that a different time, but just like at the beginning, I don't know really what else to like talk about at the beginning. I guess Luke's not here to give us 2 cents, but what else? What else really like stuck out before you started making videos? Did you think it would last like 10 years? Like Miguel, you're here and there. Like I'm not so much. I know Steve's still active. Justin gave up a long time ago.
Well, hold on. Justin had like a whole year of like podcasts uploaded. That counts for something.
This is actually kind of what inspired it, because when they had me, I think they used to have. Remember, Justin used to have like random guests pop in, and
Yeah,
those
you
used
even
to
had
be, like,
Jeff.
yeah, like Jeff, Luke. I don't know if Ryan was on there for a couple of them as well. I think.
I had Ryan. I even had the Dave Meltzer Truth Slayer.
And one of the things that, and then recently when I listened to Miguel's Christmas podcast, when LV was on there, and I was like, I haven't heard this guy's voice in like years, and to think that he's still around. I follow his Wrestling is Lit now because of that show, and I'm like, damn, I'm like, it's been this long since people have like spoken, so I'm like, I better like, even with you guys, I don't even know when the last time, like I still talk to you guys here and there, but together, it's been over a year that all 4 of us have been in the same room together.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it's been that long.
But okay, we're about at the 20 minute mark. I think this is good for the first episode. Everyone got the
So you got to give people a preview of what to expect in the next one.
Yeah, next episode we're gonna talk about wrestling. I don't know what is the next episode.
I don't know. Do we talk about Mania 27 or?
You owe me money and you're out buying cheesecake? How about that for free?
Oh, he's not gonna join the call now.
We'll see. We'll see what the next episode. My next episode I had was the first 1,000 subs, just building your channel. But I think we were kind of covered a little bit of that already. But we'll see what the next episode is. I think we got a lot of stuff.
You had 3 or 4
He's trying to
people.
do Quarantine Chronicles, and he realized how hard it is right now.
I know. Trust me.
Rather,
You just
you
start
managed to
rambling and
get-
you start like, hey, wait, that's for another episode.
You got 3 of the 4 people. That means you got about 87% of them.
Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna end this till I'm gonna stop recording. Okay, say bye to everyone.
Sorry, Jeff.